Welcome to Uncanny X-Minutes, where we bring you the comics behind the movies. I'm producer James.
And I'm Stasia.
And we're watching The Wolverine, minutes 40 through 50.
Do you want to know what happens in The Wolverine, James?
Sure do.
Wolverine escapes with Mariko onto a bullet train, but you can't have a bullet train without a bullet train fight scene. So we're going to get that too. And then when they leave the train, they stay at a love hotel. Classic.
We are firmly in the second act of this movie.
Yes.
Last 10 minutes and this 10 minutes, we're like fight, and we finally are stopped the fighting. We're on the lam. So this was a hard one to pick something to talk about because like it's mostly fighting and then them just being at the love hotel. So like we've done Mariko. We did a bunch of Mariko. So like their relationship's already been done. So I figured let's find another fun Japanese adventure involving Wolverine, and the one we've chose this week is one that I think we've mentioned multiple times because it keeps coming up, and it is one of those events that like is still relevant nowadays, and that's the miniseries Kitty Pryde and Wolverine from 1984.
Yeah, this is Claremont and Al Milgrom. We've talked a lot about it because it came up when we were talking about Wolverine and his children, or vague like mentorship program that he's got going. And because Kitty Pryde is one of the first, right? She is one in a long line. I think it's actually quite interesting that it kicks off with Kitty Pryde's dad being in trouble with the Yakuza, because we've mentioned this before. Kitty Pryde is from Deerfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all, as somebody from Chicago, not a lot of Yakuza in Deerfield, Illinois.
No.
Crazy,
well, they do say Chicago a lot, though.
Yes, but she does say Deerfield specifically.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she lives in Deerfield, but I feel like he works in Chicago.
Maybe, I guess. It's kind of fun. I like kind of forget like we're from Chicago, so I kind of forget that she is.
Yeah. Well, after the fall of X, she went back to Chicago again.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, so her run right now is in Chicago. That's
actually pretty great. I should read that. But before she gets cool and is Kate Pryde and like whatever, though I think she might be Shadowkat again now.
So that's the thing. Talk about. Like that's what makes this kind of interesting is that if you were reading the Krakoa run and you got to the fall of X, she becomes Shadowkat again. Like in case you forgot, she can be a ninja, and that all stems from this story.
Yeah, the story is, I don't want to like rush through it because it's like there's just so much here, but like the most important part is she kind of becomes a ninja assassin, which is like super cool. How this happens is because like a evil ninja named Ogun, who becomes one of those Wolverine villains that like is, I don't know, he's not always around. He's not a Sabretooth, but he's like definitely part of the rogues gallery for sure. He like is a evil ninja that also kind of has the power to control people's minds. And this is how Kitty Pryde ends up becoming brainwashed a little bit. They have these like scenes where she's like in a dojo and like is training, but like in assassin techniques and stuff too. Like he's like putting her through this. It's like a really interesting, he's an evil ninja for sure, but like when I was reading this the first time, I like distinctly remember like I was like, oh, is he gonna like have a face turn? Because like I wasn't sure if like there was gonna be a relationship like that built between them.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen. It's Wolverine that does it. That's where we're gonna eventually get to in this. But I do remember like I was like a kid, I was like very karate kid, and I was like, wait, is this gonna be like?
Yeah.
No, he's actually just like full brainwashing her, and he's super evil.
I mean, it starts off with them in Chicago, and she wants to go visit her dad. Like she was ice skating. She's like, oh, I've been ice skating a while, so I'm gonna do that. And then she goes to visit her dad. Her dad is having a meeting, like closed doors, like bank is closed. He works for a bank. Bank is closed. His office door is closed. Like she just phases her way in because she's Kitty Pryde. And she overhears basically a couple of Yakuza roughing him up. And so she puts herself in the situation, finds out that her dad needs to go to Japan to like finish some business dealings. And she's like, these are shady. This sounds shady. I think they're Yakuza, which at the time, like me reading it now, I was like, why would you assume that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, whatever. I mean, she's right because it's the 80s.
Yeah.
She stows on a plane to get to Tokyo, and then it's like her on the street for like a full issue where she is wearing like a ice skating outfit, so she really sticks out.
Yeah.
And she's trying to just like find her dad, find some money, find some clothes. She tries robbing an ATM, gets caught. She's on the run. She goes into the sewer. She phases into the sewer. She basically gets like the flu. Like, she is like sick, broken, broke until she finally runs into the building her dad's supposed to be in and finds out that, yes, indeed, they're going to be laundering money through his bank.
Yeah.
And that's where, what is his name? The head of the Yakuza. It's
Shigematsu.
Okay, so his bodyguard is Ogun.
Yeah.
And basically, they capture Kitty Pryde because she's so weak, and he's like, I want her as payment for all the services I've rendered.
Ogun does, yes. Yeah.
Right, and we all agree, and it's fine. And that's when he does this like weird training montage to Kitty.
Right, which is also like you are supposed to interpret it as that there's like mental brainwashing kind of going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She literally, like, in the pages, ages down to a baby and then trains back up to her current age.
Yeah, they really like leaned into like rebuilding her from scratch, which is why they give her the new code name, like that Shadowkat code name, which is probably the besides her name.
She dubs it herself later.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like this is what it's based on though. Like everything
Yeah.
about Shadowkat is like in this issue, like that when she's in that persona, this is kind of what she's embodying.
Yeah.
Is this like ninja assassin that Ogun is training her to be. And it kind of makes sense. Her powers suit it. Like,
and that's why.
Yeah.
That's why he picked her, because it's not just training her to be a protege, it's training her to then implant his soul into her body.
right. Yeah, he's going to take over. Sorry, we probably should have said that. He is going to
Yeah.
take over her body 100% at the end of it. Like, but
so the way to
he's-
do it is
yeah.
to first train her body to be a ninja.
Right, because if he's in her body but weak, he can't defend himself, right? So he's going to make her
Right.
be a ninja, and then he's going to take over. He does possess, like, other people's bodies in the future is, like, kind of a plot point when he
Yeah.
comes back, like, as a, spoiler alert, disembodied ghost. But, like, one of the people he tries to take over is, like, Lady Deathstrike and stuff. So, like,
Ooh, that's a
has
good one.
this- I think so, too. But, yeah, he, like, he picks kind of these, like, people that have these abilities that he can like use, and like the mask is part of it too. He's got this Oni mask. It's like kind of like a Japanese style like demon mask that he wears.
It just looks like a stereotypical demon.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Mask.
in this issue where they say it. Actually, I'm almost positive it's not in this miniseries at all. But like later when he comes back, they kind of his ability to like be ghostly and still do harm like post death, which we'll get to, he is like the mask has something to do with it. So it's also kind of like
Okay.
he's also associated with like magic, which is kind of weird, right? Because like in the miniseries, no, legitimate, like his mutant power is like telepathy and like the brainwashing is kind of how it's described now, but he's also magic. It gets weird sometimes in the X-Men. I mean, like
Hey,
obviously,
so's magic.
that's true. That is true. But like she is generally, her and Storm tend to be the exceptions. Like
Yeah.
they both kind of have weird other powers that they're harnessing that is not just related to their mutant powers. And like weirdly, Ogun is also like that. Probably because so much of this was added on over time.
Yeah.
Because this miniseries, he dies at the end of it, and so like it gets brought back much later, and so there's like a lot of retcons. But I do think it's like kind of cool that he has like this magic thing too.
Kitty Pryde at one point decides to reach out to the X-Men before she's brainwashed, and Wolverine answers the phone and is like, hey, who's this? And she just hangs up, and I think she says one thing, and he's like, oh, that was Kitty Pryde, and finds out that she's in Japan. So then he flies out to meet up with her, and then ends up having, well, first off, he meets up with Yukio, so she comes back, and they're immediately like coupled up again, even though Mariko is here.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? But like they're not together, I guess.
I guess not. There's some drama ready to happen that doesn't actually happen.
Right. Yeah. It's like we're in that era, which we talked about in the previous episode, where like Mariko is like choosing to not be with Wolverine until she's got stuff in order. I think right now this would just be until she gets out of the Yakuza business, like when she,
because she is in charge,
right? Yeah, so she has to like disassociate herself from that, because like she has this really fun period of time where she's like this really cool like weird mob boss but also like a baddie. Like it's great. I think we're in dead set in the middle.
Kitty Pryde attacks Wolverine, but it is like the Ogun mesmerized Kitty Pryde, wearing the mask, and can keep up with Wolverine till he realizes it's Kitty Pryde.
Because she's dressed not only in the mask, but like she's in like a ninja outfit. So her uniform, like, I mean, Kitty Pryde dresses like a teenager in the 80s. She's pretty conspicuous. So this is different.
And this is also the era of Kitty Pryde doesn't have one uniform. Yeah. She's constantly changing. This is also, she doesn't really have a good code name. It's either Ariel or Sprite.
And she almost kills Wolverine.
She stabs him full on with a sword. Yeah. And this is also, like talking the other week, Wolverine's healing ability is not as great as it was or as it currently is in the modern day. Yeah. So when he gets stabbed, it takes him a while to heal from that. But they do get her to come back with them too, and they're able to like deprogram her a bit, like enough.
I just want to say Yukio, the reason that she ends up, even though she stabs Wolverine, Yukio actually saves him. Like Wolverine is like she like cooked him. So it just to show you, it's kind of important just to show you that like Wolverine's power level and also Kitty Pryde's power level, like how they're positioning it, because I don't think this happens very frequently. Like very rarely is Wolverine outclassed by his proteges. He's just one of the stronger mutants. It almost never happens. And for it to happen in this era makes sense because he wasn't as overpowered as he is now. So obviously like the scale is lower, but also like it's the first time, which I think is really interesting, right? Like they do that and then they never really do that again. But you know, that's power creep, I think, more than the writers being able to like repeat that.
For sure.
Yeah, Yukio ends up knocking her out because Yukio is still super cool and the best.
Oh, yeah.
And then they take her back so that Yukio and mostly, honestly, Wolverine is going to be deprogramming her. And a lot of this is like psychological. I do think it's important to note, and I guess I probably should have said it up front, but there's like a little bit of context around this miniseries that if you're not reading the X-Men line, you might not know. So, like, I just want to point out at this time, like, Kitty Pryde is, like, kind of struggling with her place with the X-Men. Like, and this is kind of a big component of her personality, I think, through the 80s until she starts splitting off and like, ends up in Excalibur and they're doing their own thing. But, like, during the X-Men, she's kind of like the kid. And then there's also the New Mutants that she was supposed to be part of and then doesn't want to be. She wants to be on the big boy team, right? And so she is completely a different age than everybody else that is actually in the X-Men, like Nightcrawler and Jean Grey and Scott, etc. So she's like struggling to find a place. And I think that that's like part of this miniseries a little bit. It's like Wolverine giving her one-on-one counseling via ninja deprogramming, which is like a very X-Men thing to say, but it's not super talked about in the issues, like, because it's this miniseries that stands on its own. But I do think that at this point the characters are so entwined to like their appearances in other comics that for this, like, it is actually like they would expect you to probably know that if you're reading this miniseries. They just don't really talk about it. Other than that, it obviously like completely stands alone, but like I think it's worth noting.
Yeah. I also would like to note that this is also an era of comics where they are paying attention to continuity of other comics. Mm-hmm. So it gets to a point in a later issue, like about halfway through or so, like when the training is happening, just after the deprogramming, Wolverine is training Kitty Pryde as well. And it's snowing really hard. And that's only important because they give you a text box that says, like, I don't know why it should be summer. Why is it snowing? And then there's the casket of ancient winters is the reason. See recent issues of Thor for details.
I miss that. I really do. I miss that part of comic books, like where it did matter where people were. I mean, obviously, the person that we're talking about, Wolverine, is the reason why they don't do it anymore. But like legitimately,
He does make it hard when he's on like 4 different teams. Well, we were talking about it after our last recording with Brian, who's a big Avengers guy, and we're like, yeah, Avengers, they do not care. Like, at all. Like, currently, from what I'm reading right now, which somewhat recent, there's something big happening in the Storm solo series, but Storm is also currently on the Avengers, where none of that is going on. Like, it's one of those things that's like, it's wild these two things are not happening simultaneously.
Yeah, and we had a whole episode talking about time sliding, and like, as in the more modern era, it's not only just like time sliding in scale, it's also kind of time sliding between issues of stuff, even if they're coming out at the same time. Like, things are not happening exactly in order of release.
No. Like, if there is a website called the Complete Marvel Reading Order, and whoever runs that thing, my word, their job has got to be harder and harder as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like, where do you even put this? If it technically, like, until they say otherwise, it would be hard.
And things get retconned.
Because sometimes they're like, oh, this issue takes place before, Avengers number 37 or whatever.
Well, we'll get to
anyway,
people writing newer things fitting into old canon very shortly.
I almost brought it up, but we'll get there. So
but
anyway,
let's finish off this series. So we've got Wolverine is retraining Kitty Pryde.
Yep.
And unfortunately, they did not kill Ogun. Because obviously they only just deprogrammed Kitty, and he's not just going to let his potential future body get away. So he decides to attack Mariko Yoshida and Amiko, which is their adopted daughter, to kind of lure everybody out. And let me tell you, is that successful? Like,
right. But it's funny because it is Kitty Pryde who now at this point has decided to go by Shadowkat.
Yeah. Because
she's no longer a kitten. She's no longer a kitty. She is a cat. And she loves the shadow, so Shadowkat it is.
I think it is supposed to be one of like 100 more times they're gonna tell the story of like, Kitty is growing up. She's not a kitten, she's a cat. Like, it is like, this happens so often, and like, this is definitely one of them.
It happened in Krakoa.
Yes, it did.
I kind of liked it in Krakoa because she's like, no, I go by Kate now. I'm Kate Pryde.
It was... Okay, we're gonna have to do another aside, but it's so funny to me when she does that because it reminded me of this miniseries.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang, even when they're trying to make Kitty grow up, they just keep hitting those same beats with her. Like, you can't escape it.
It's funny. I was named after my grandfather. So when I was little, they decided to call me Jamie because my grandfather went by Jim. And when I was like maybe 8 or so, like not that old, I was like, could you call me James, please? Like, and I got so much crap for it.
Wow.
So I can't even imagine how much crap Kitty Pryde gets for all the time she changes her name.
Oh, God, yeah. Can you even really take her seriously anymore? Did you take it seriously? Did I know that we were going to go back to Kitty Pryde eventually? Yes, I did. I did know that.
Yeah, she's Kitty again. She's not Kate. It was Captain Kate.
Which was cool.
The captain of the Marauder. We're back to Kitty Pryde now.
Yeah, that's just...
Back in Chicago.
New writer... New you.
I mean, in all fairness, it kind of has to at some point. Like,
yeah.
If you tell someone, "Oh, Kate Pryde's doing something," who
there's a
Joe
brand
Schmo in the back row doesn't know who that is.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that eventually happens to us all.
Anyway,
in the comics though, in 1984, Kitty Pryde with Wolverine tries to go save Mariko and Amiko by like confronting Ogun, and
oh man, it's even better than that.
Yeah,
Kitty Pryde pretends to be Mariko. Like, is laying in her bed dressed as her. So when Ogun goes to attack, the sword just phases through her.
Yes. Yeah, it's super cool because she also has now more control of her powers, I think, too.
Yeah.
Like, she is growing.
We're airwalking.
Yeah, it's very cool. And she resists. Ogun tries to brainwash her, too. He tries again. Like, he's going to, well, let me just restart the process. But this time, it doesn't work. She does need Wolverine to save her, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, for sure. Well, that's the thing about Ogun. We're so used to Wolverine being such a powerhouse and like nothing can stop him. And it is miniseries like this that remind you like there are more powerful people out there. Mm-hmm. And Ogun is one of them. So he could take on Kitty Pryde and then Wolverine and then has to take them all on again.
Yeah. And eventually Wolverine defeats Ogun, but before he kills him, he asks Kitty if she wants to do it. Like this.
Well, the only reason I'm going to just rewind this a little bit. The only reason that Wolverine is able to take out Ogun is by going berserker. Like, there is a whole panel about him having to like, it tells you that he kind of gentlemanly fights until his back is against the wall and he has to go full berserker mode and almost kills him.
Yeah.
Like he does the claws up the mask and you realize that you should think, oh, he got him in the head. And what it is only the mask and he pulls the mask off and then kind of like lets Kitty have the killing blow.
Right. Which she turns down and says she can't do it, basically. And like I think that like this is Wolverine testing her actually to make sure that she is no longer like influenced by Ogun, and the fact that she turns him down is proof of that.
And also proves it to herself. Like, she's been kicking herself the whole time, being like, I'm now sullied.
Because she almost killed Wolverine.
A killer.
Right? Yeah, because if Wolverine didn't have his healing powers, the blow that she did with the sword earlier would have killed him. Like, so that is definitely part of it. But, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember that he was going to die because I'm like, he's not going to die. It's Wolverine. Like, I was like, yeah, he'll heal right up.
Pal.
Right, because like he takes on so much grievous wounds that like sometimes it's like he'll heal, right? And they really have to explicitly tell you when he's not going to sometimes. But again, 84, a different kind of power creep at this point.
Right, right.
I think this is when Ogun actually tries to kill Kitty Pryde. He's got that last bit of energy in him. But Wolverine just finishes the job because he is different.
I love it though because he's trying to attack Kitty Pryde's back so Wolverine could see him coming and tells her to phase. And then he puts his fist through Kitty Pryde with his claws and gets Ogun that way. So Ogun slices, but it misses, obviously. Slices Wolverine's chest, but Wolverine gets him gets Ogun in the chest, and that's it for him.
I do think, like you pointed out, the reason that they do it that way is to show you that like Wolverine had to take another blow. It was tricky to kill him. Like he was a little outclassed. I like this miniseries. It's kind of a weird one, but it's fun. I think it makes sense. It makes sense with the characters. It gives it Kitty Pryde turning into a ninja is kind of cool, I guess. Like I think those powers when in the fall of Krakoa, she gets a little moody about everyone dying. So like it's totally fair.
As one does.
As one does. And she kind of goes back to this like ninja assassin persona, which is Shadowkat. And I think it's been so influential for like her depth for character because it's not really related to her powers at all. It's just like this experience that she had in this very famous miniseries with Wolverine that like gave her this like part of her that like the writers can draw upon in today. And actually Chris Claremont wrote another Kitty Pryde and Wolverine miniseries in 2024.
There is Kitty Pryde and Wolverine from 1984 that we've been reading. Like that's all we've been discussing. They flipped it. It's called Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, which was made in 2025 and takes place immediately after the miniseries.
Right. It's like literally almost a continuation, and it is like in Claremont's style, he's gotten a little less wordy. I think they put some word counts on him.
A bit. Yeah.
But he's still pushing it. But I actually think
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's pure like, man, I don't even know if it's Silver Age. It might be Bronze Age at that point. But the Claremont style is, this comic book could be the first one you picked up. So
Yes.
Wolverine's got to say he has adamantium claws and has a healing factor in almost every single issue that he's in.
Yeah, absolutely. And they, even in the miniseries, they kind of recap stuff like that you could kind of figure out what's going on if you didn't read anything else.
There is one in I think it's the last issue where Yukio is telling Mariko what's going on, because they're like, who's the American? And it's Kitty Pryde's dad, who's just been, we didn't mention it, has been hanging out this entire time.
Yeah, there's some other
trying
stuff.
not to die.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, here's what's going on. And then in the box in the bottom, it says, a really concise recap of the last 5 issues. And it's like, we had to take 2 panels to tell you exactly, you're in the last issue of a miniseries, but we need to tell you what's going on.
Yeah. So, but in this run, it's picking up exactly where they left off. It's her kind of coming to terms with what Wolverine is trying to teach her, which is about, like, she wants to be a normal girl. Like, they're picking up on the threads that were in the X-Men series, which is why I mentioned it earlier. She doesn't want to be a superhero anymore. She doesn't want to be hated and feared. She doesn't want to be possessed and try to kill, like, her best buddy Wolverine. Like, she doesn't want that life anymore. And the issues are about her being taught by Wolverine that, like, you don't always get to choose your fate. Like, you've been given this power and you have the ability to save people, right? It's a very similar, he doesn't say it, but like Spider-Man, great power comes great responsibilities.
Sure.
Talk.
It's the X-Men version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a really cute run.
In all fairness, though, in X-Men, it's harder because it's like, you were born this way and people are going to react to you in a certain way. So it's like, you either need to help out and help your people out, or you need to, I don't know, like, she's lucky because she's passing. She could just live a normal life and just do nothing, but you have this power. You should help out your people.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Spider-Man, I mean, yeah, he should help, but, like, you know, if he just went about his day, whatever, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's a genius. He could help in other ways. So, like, that is kind of...
He's tried.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't have time for Spider-Man, but I
no,
will
we
say...
can't go into we can't go into why Spider-Man's.
It's a cute run. It's not really about ninjas at all. It's actually
about human-side sentinels.
Yeah, there's AI. It's very post-Krakoa. It feels like a post-Krakoa book set in...
I was about to say, yeah.
It's crazy. It's a really interesting...
It's fun.
Yeah, I like it.
If you read the other miniseries, it's a fun, more modern story to just throw in after it.
Yeah, and they do a little explaining about why Mariko and Wolverine didn't get married yet. It's so fun. It's
right.
like it just, but it is.
Well, because that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's got all the characters in it. It's got Mariko. It's got Yukio. It's got Akiko. You know.
It's just super fun. Like, the girls get to be girls. Also, you find out that her dad went to war with Charles Xavier in that run, and like that Xavier. This is what I mean when I say post Krakoa, because I feel like Claremont's like, yes, okay, Professor X is this evil bad guy, and he has been the whole time. How do I put this in my comic book? He basically says that, like, he went to war with Charles. They were like friends and like comrades in the war. And when Charles was supposed to wiped his memory to protect him, but he was supposed to fix it, but only did it after Kitty Pryde had been recruited to the school where she was going to be used in Xavier's army. It's insane. That's like, I'm sorry, it's a crazy thing to put in this book. It like you have to, because like he's setting this book in 1984, and obviously Kitty Pryde's dad isn't involved, right? So like you have to make a reason as to like, why didn't he ever bring up that him and Charles were war buddies? This is the explanation, but it makes Xavier look terrible. It looks so bad.
Claremont knows what he's doing. Don't worry about it.
He does. No, it's absolutely intentional. It's that's actually the funniest part, is because it's not just like, sometimes you get these issues and they're like, something happens, you're like, well, if you really think about the past, this really makes his character seem really bad. No, it's just like a writer being like, he's terrible, actually. Like, I'm gonna put this in the text and we're gonna talk about it. It's actually just really fun, and I wanted to shout it out because I really enjoyed it. Claremont's still doing Claremont things.
So, I mean, all in all, both the miniseries are nice if you just want to jump in and jump out.
Yeah.
Like yes, it in context it adds a lot more, but just as a story, you could just jump in and jump out, and it's just a fun little mini.
Yeah, you get Wolverine, you get some ninjas. Comes
back every once in a while.
Yeah, you get to see Kitty Pryde's like ninja powers, which are really cool, and how she uses her powers like slightly differently because she's doing a different like fighting style, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for us today. I'm producer James.
And I'm Sasha.
And we'll see you for the next 10.